name is Dolores Phelps and I live in the UK in the west of England. I'm very lucky to live in the centre of one of the largest forests in England, so I live surrounded by trees and nature. It's called the Forest of Dean in Gloucestershire. It's quite near the border of Wales, and I live here with my husband and my rescue dog Elsie. I've been an artist and an illustrator all my life, and I've been creating art creating these watercolour paintings for the last 15 or 20 years, and in watercolour and gouache. It's all about trying to, in a holistic way, try to harness some of the natural forces that create patterns and textures in nature. And you find them in growth forms and natural phenomena, the forest, mountains, the beaches, the sands and the coastline, the wind, the rain and the rocks, and they all inspire me. They're derived from, and I look at the natural patterns that are formed, and they inspire me to try to recreate, but in a more sublimated and aesthetic way on the paper, the same kind of natural rhythms, patterns and forces that we find in nature. I like to think that my work is, in a very, very small way, a mirror of the world around me, or in the natural world. Well, I work in watercolour and gouache on paper, and this media is very subtle and has such subtle gradations in it. It's more fluid and receptive than acrylic paint or oil paint, and my style is abstract and sometimes semi-abstract, depending on whether I'm trying to depict a particular flower or scene. But more often, as I mentioned before, it's all about harnessing these same forces that create natural patterns in nature, and putting them on the paper, and so that they more or less paint the picture themselves. And it's not so much a style as a philosophy, as a kind of directing the paint, the pigment and the water, and directing it and letting it flow. And I like to think that it's not really so much myself in the painting. I try to keep myself from interfering with it too much, but then obviously I'm the person who brings it into being. So I bring these forces into being on the paper, and it's a kind of collaborative effort, you might say. I would say intuitive. Yes, intuitive.